All right, Guitar Animal members, so we're looking at Electric Funeral today by Black Sabbath. Covered the first two sections very well in the first video. Make sure you reference that as well as your tab sheets, chord charts to cover that. We're going to be looking at the next section here, which is a really cool part. It's using a partial chord really in order to go. Create that is I'm going to be holding the 6th fret on your 4th string, the 7th fret on your 5th string, and the open 6th string. I'm going to get rid of some of my distortion so you can hear that a little bit more clearly. We're going to hit that chord, drop a half step, and another half step, ending up with the 4 and the 5 being held on the 4th and 5th strings respectively, and the open 6th string. Now the thing that's going to really throw you a little bit on this is how long he allows that to sustain. In other words, how many beats does he allow that last chord to sustain before he goes through it, the chord section again. So the first time he does it, he's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what we have there is we have a changing amount of sustain on that. From the first time he plays it, he'll play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In other words, he'll rest that amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through the chords again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's going to go into the next section. So just be mindful of how long do I sustain it. Black Sabbath did this all the time. They would mess with the rests or the breaks. They wouldn't always keep them the same. And that's what's going on here. It seems like, oh, he got into that early. I have it laid out for you very well on the tab sheet. Make sure you reference it and be looking for the 2-4 section. With that particular section in measure, let's see, 22, it's only 2 beats instead of 4 beats. So watch out for that. All right, next section up, it's going to sound like this. Very cool part. Starting up here at the 12th fret and the 14th fret on the 5th and 6th strings. That's an E5 chord. Dropping back to the D5 chord at the 10 and the 12, and then right back up to the E5. So the first section is just... And then for the fancy part, I'm playing the 12th fret on the first 4 strings, and it's going to be up, 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 down, up, down. If you look below the tab sheet in section 28, you're going to see upstrokes are the V, and downstrokes will be looking like a staple. So it'll be... The little funny symbols that you're seeing in the tab that you're probably not used to seeing, those are 16th rests, 16th note rests. So very short rests. So it goes like that. So slowly it's... Very cool part. Make sure you slow down your features, use your slow down features here, looping functions. You might want to stop the video here and look at that section slowly to try to get that down. And next up is going to be the next part. All right, so we just finished this section. Next up is going to be a little solo riff. It goes... Played on the middle 2 strings, 3rd and 4th strings, at the 12th and the 14th fret, starting with the 12 to 14 hammer-on the 4th string. That just means I'm going to pick the 12th fret and hammer my finger down to get the 14th fret. I'm not going to pick the 14. So it's just going to be... Then I'm going to play the 12th fret on the 3rd string, 14 on 3rd string, back to 12, and then the 14 again, 3rd string, full bend. Means I'm going to bend that note, which is an A note, to make it sound like a B note. You can use your tuner on your headstock if you have one, or on the floor for that matter, and just watch that note change from an A note to a B note as you bend it. Make sure you're right in tune. You pull it up to the B, not too low and not too high. So that riff slowly is a little vibrato on it. Next riff is very similar. So it goes. So we're doing 12 to 14 on the 4th string again, 12 on the 3rd string, 14 on the 3rd string, do a full bend on the 14, and then go right back to the 12 on the 3rd string, and the 14 on the 4th string. So slowly it's... I was just playing the 2nd riff there. So now the way it's written, we're going to play 1st riff, 2nd riff, so we just repeat them a number of times, and then we're going to go up with the next riff, which is going to be unison bend, 12th fret on the 1st string, 15th fret on the 2nd string, and I'm going to bend that 15 to sound like the note I'm holding on the 1st string, which is an E. So we'll start with a D on the 2nd string, bending up to E. Along with the E, it's going to join the E on the 1st string. So you hear both of them at the same time, doing the... And then we slide off. So I'm just holding them with the band and slide off towards the headstock. So slow it's... Very cool. Take some practice to get that. Make sure your nails are cut, because when you bend that 2nd string up, your fingernails could touch the 3rd string and sound it. We don't want to hear the 3rd string there. All right, so those 2 parts again slowly. Do not forget, you do not have to keep up with me speed-wise. We can slow it down, loop it, and learn these sections, go over them as many times as you need to, and have me play as slow as you need me to play. All right, final riff here is going to be another unison bend, but starting down here at the 3rd and 5th fret positions, and we're going to be playing the 2nd and 3rd strings. I'll be holding the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, 3rd string on the 5th fret, and I'm going to bend that 3rd string a whole step. And I'll be using the wah-wah on this as well. The way that I would use my wah-wah there is every time I hit the strings, I would actually drop the wah, toe the wah forward. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have a wah-wah, it's a lot of fun. You don't have to have a wah-wah for this, but it is kind of cool to play with. All right, so what I did there was the same riff 3 times in a row. 3 unison bends on the 3 and the 5, with the 4th unison bend being on the 5 and the 7, and then returning to pitch. So I went. So a lot of fun to play this. If you look below, we're going to have a link to the Black Sabbath song that I was actually listening to when I did cover this, or when I actually created the tabs for this. So make sure you check that out, as well as you want to check out everything else we have at GaryGuitarAnimal.com. Comments in the section below. Let me know what you think. Love this song. Having a great time bringing these guys to you. Thanks for being members.